Welcome back, everybody. Don't forget, Dakota Bowl 32 on tap for Friday morning. We hit the air at 9 a.m. on WDAY and across the state on your ABC affiliates. The Class A championship game will lead it off. We previewed that yesterday. The Kindred and Velva game. The 9-man championship will follow about noon with New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock, and Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion. At about 2:30, it might be later than that because I think there's going to be a lot of points in the 9-man game. Horace and Red River will play in the 2A championship. And then at 6:30, the 3A title game is an all-EDC clash between West Fargo Cheyenne and Fargo Davies. They will play for the second time this season. The first time they played was a 3-0 barn burner that Cheyenne won. As we welcome back to our show, Fargo Davies head coach Wayne Werremeyer to the show. I was visiting with Tyler Terhark yesterday, former Cheyenne receiver. He was talking with a couple of, I'm assuming your son as well. They said the under-over is 10. Can we get more than 10 for the game on Friday?
It's 10 for Davies and 0 for Sheyenne. I don't care how many points there is. If it's as long as we're 1 point better, that's our goal this week.
Have you ever been involved in a game like that where 3-0 with no touchdowns were scored?
No, I've been involved on both sides where one team doesn't score any, but the fact that they got a field goal, I think, in the first quarter. We had a shot to tie it up with a field goal, which sounds really, really weird in North Dakota high school football. But two good kickers and two defenses that played pretty well that night.
I'll get back to that in a minute, but we had you on last week. You go to Minot. You knew how the challenge was that going to be. Tell us about how your team performed to get back to the Dakota Bowl, first time in a decade.
Yeah, just a business-like trip. We have it planned out where we go to Jamestown and we stop for a walkthrough. We go to Bismarck, we get food. We go up to Minot, we get back off the bus. So it seems like it takes about 12 hours to get up to Minot. And then on the way home, we challenge our bus driver to see if he can make it home in 3.5. So just hats off to the kids. They went up there and it was just, focused the whole way up there. And they came out and they played and probably too many turnovers from both sides of the team, both Minot and us. But we were able to buckle down and win a football game.
What was that bus ride back? Despite breaking maybe to some speed limits, what was that like on the way back?
Well, we also putz around a little bit before we get going, so the kids get to talk to their parents on the field. I think that's really, really important for them to give the people that came to support them a hug and tell them thanks for coming. And then we go up and we shower and we have pizza before we leave. So by the time the kids got on the bus, I think they were the emotions had kind of run their course, and I put my headphones on and I didn't hear a peep.
When was that on the bus ride back? The preparation for a Cheyenne begin for you, or is it the following day?
It's the following morning. I don't sleep well. I think I got home at 3:30, and I think I was up at 6:45. So I started watching some Cheyenne film, and then fortunate to have a game day visit with Malachi, my son, that day. So we did that.
That's awesome.
And then right back to it when I got home.
So knowing a team as well as you know, Jeremy, there are no surprises. Is that an advantage, or I won't say disadvantage, but what's the struggle in that when you know a team so well as you know Cheyenne?
The thing with Sheyenne is they're really, really well coached. They're really physical and they're fast. So anytime you have a well coached, physical, fast team, it's a challenge. And we're getting our kids the best we can, and hopefully the feeling on their side is the same, that we've got some speed, we can be physical, and I think it's a mutual respect. At least I know we respect the heck out of them, and so it's no easier, no harder. AAA football's weird. You play everybody anyway. Yep. So every playoff game is a repeat of a game you had during the season.
To be back here, Wayne, this is something that nobody's experienced besides yourself. For Fargo Davies to be back there, what do you think the emotions are going to be like before the game?
I think it's easier this week than it was last week. We know we're done Friday. Yeah. Win or lose, both teams are done Friday. So, it's emotional. There will be some nerves. We talked to the kids about they're going to get tired. I think, like you said, the only three people, Malachi and Gus Ballboyd, that game in awesome. 2014. Wow. And now it's like, man, they're straight off the monkey bars into varsity football. And some of the pictures that some friends have sent me this week of those two running around the field ball boying are pretty special.
That's yeah, just think about that. That's gotta be butterflies, right?
Yeah, it's really special having those two kids on the team right now.
So, I always ask. I think I asked you this last week. For with a game like this, you mentioned no one points might be at a premium. Is a quick start something you absolutely have to have, whether it's a 3 and out or you guys go and score?
Oh, it's the same thing. I don't know if you asked me that or someone asked me that about Minot. We need to score when we have the football. We
Yeah.
have limited possessions. The way we play our offense, and the way Cheyenne's content to run the ball, there's going to be limited possessions at times. We need to limit the big plays. We need to win special teams. We need to win the turnover battle.
This they actually, and Jeremy's going to be on the show tomorrow. They threw the ball more than I thought this season. Did that surprise you with how much? Because I know he likes to run the football. That surprised you with what they have for offense?
Newton did a couple years ago, but he went to bed and he woke up a different man, and all of a sudden he's in 3 and 4 wideouts all the time. Dom, they used to be the team that looked like Davies.
That's
that was
exactly
just
right.
In and pounded. So it's really funny. If you turn on the film from 4 years ago, we're kind of the reverse. Switch the jerseys, and you probably wouldn't even know each team changed. So.
Caden Olson, their quarterback. Tell me what his strengths are and what you're going to have to do to shut him down on Friday night.
Oh, I tell you what, we played him in a JV game last year before he starting at quarterback, and I was like, who in the heck is this JV quarterback? And I know they had a really good quarterback in Dewar last year, and then they moved him out to wideout. But he showed up in that JV football game. So he's athletic. He can throw. He can run. He's very, very consistent with where he puts the ball. They have some good receivers, and they've got good linemen that protect him. So they're the real deal.
I think for football fans, Wayne, that'll get a first chance to watch either of your teams play, Kate Paterba just stands out. Obviously, he's going to go play football in the Big Ten next year. You've seen him. You tried to block him. What makes him such a special talent that he's going to go to the Big Ten next year?
I mean, 6'5", 255, 260, but it's not like, if I was 260, I wouldn't look like he looks like. He's long, he's athletic, and then he's got a motor. He just, there were times we had him blocked on the backside, and he literally grabbed one of our guys and tossed him aside and ran 4 or 5 gaps over and made the plays. So his effort is really, really good. For
your team, is there a players that you've talked about this week? Hey, we need this if we're going to win the football game on Friday.
We've talked about a lot of our O-line. I think last time we played them, they got into a 3D line front with some ends, and those interior 3D lines played 6 gaps. We can't let 3D linemen play 6 gaps. We need to have 3D linemen play 3, a max of 4 gaps. So our O-line's got to block to the whistle. We got in a good position initially last game, and then we got out of position really, really quick.
Is maybe I should ask this, is the under over for this game maybe like an hour with the amount of running the football for each team here?
Well, if Newton wants to make a pact that he won't throw the ball till I throw the ball, I think we could get it done in an hour because we certainly want to run the football.
We talked about this last week. This is the first time I think Sheyenne and West Fargo played in 21. Other than that, I can't even remember. It's been a while. We've had 2 East teams play for the championship. Is that a reflection of how good the EDC was, or more North Dakota in your mind?
North Dakota football in general has gotten better. I think North Dakota football in general has gotten more balanced. You used to have Fargo South and Bismarck be in the championship, 8 out of 10 years and facing each other. And for a couple of years there, we had South and Grand Forks Central that were 2 pretty good football teams. But, it's the ebb and flow. Bismarck Century are always going to be good. Minot, Chauncey's doing a really nice job up there with what he's got going on. Legacy's coming on. Mandan's always going to be athletic and big. And it's just, I thought going into this year and even going into the playoffs, there were 5-6 teams that could be playing this weekend.
I have to ask before I let you go, your own emotions for this. You're doing this a long time. You'd be nervous, excited, a little bit of both before your team comes on the field on Friday night.
I think and right now it's excitement. I hope it stays there. I'm so excited this group of kids gets to play in a championship football game. They were semifinal losers 2 years in a row. This has probably been the most accomplished group of seniors that Davies football's had come through. And so just so excited, these kids. I told them last week, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I get to watch 55 kids who I love go play a game that they love. So those are the emotions I think I'll be having.
I got an email to ask, and I know because Mason Clavo signed this morning to go play basketball at Illinois State. How good was he as a football player?
Well, unanimous first team
Right?
quarterback his sophomore year. Hasn't played a down of football yet, and I've got a good relationship with Mace. Mace is a great kid. So happy for Mason that he's going to go accomplish his goals. He battled some injuries, and
Yeah.
I wish football could have been something that he experienced, and I think he does too. It
Yeah.
just was never the right time for him to come back.
Yeah, we had him on the show a couple months ago when he committed, and he still loves it to this day. Football, like I could see it in his face when I asked him.
Yeah, he's one of our biggest supporters. He'll be front row in the
Yeah.
stands.
It's great to see you, bud. Thanks so much for the time. Good luck. I'll see you on Friday at the Dome. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wayne Werremeyer, head coach of Fargo Davies, joining us. It's Davies and Sheyenne, the final game of the high school football season in North Dakota. Our coverage begins at 6:30 for the 3A game on WDAY on Friday night.